Alrighty, so oh, wrong tier list. I might have to take a screenshot of this. No, I'll just do a custom thumbnail for it. Script. All right, so my ranking or tier list on the Evil Dead franchise. Now, Evil Dead 1 starts off as fresh. You get Ash and his friends going to a cabin that is haunted by, I think it's, yeah, the Necronomicon is what caused these zombies to become what it was. Um, you get Ash being thrown in a bunch of shit. But I don't think Evil Dead 1 is better than Evil Dead 2. That's just what I think. Evil Dead 2 is way more better because you get Ash having his iconic chainsaw hand. You have him saying, damn dirty bastards, give me my hand back, it's being possessed. You have him freaking out and stuff, and more comedy. I just love that. So for the original Evil Dead, it's good. I like it. I say it's Hell to the King, and I always have to put the classics at the very top because they're just they basically start out what franchises end up becoming, and Evil Dead is one of those franchises. I don't think there's a single Evil Dead movie that is completely bad. I don't think so. Um, Evil Evil Dead 2. Now, I love this movie to death. I think it's a lot more on the comedy side. I love how Bruce Campbell put his all on for this movie. But I don't think it's better than Army of Darkness. I love Army of Darkness a lot more. But Evil Dead 2 is one of those movies that are better than the first movie or the original film. And why I say this is because you got a lot more of Ash. You don't have him being thrown around. You have this weird bird monster. You have more iconic lines like groovy. You get the famous shotgun, the famous chainsaw hand. You get the famous possessed hand. He ends up cutting it off. Um, famous Necronomicon. It's just all good. It's all good. And then he said, "For God's sake, how'd he stop it?" Such an iconic line. And at the very end of the movie, you see him being taken back in time to the medieval age, and now he's stuck there, and they say in hell. So, I'd say it's way better than Evil Dead 1. I might get a lot of hate for this, but I personally I think it's way better than Evil Dead 1 because it's a lot more comedy, a lot more Ash. Yeah, Evil Dead 1 is really fucked up too. It's like Day of the Dead kind of, where like you don't know what the fuck's going on, and you're like questioning yourself, why am I even watching this? Because this shit is fucking weird. Now we get to my favorite Evil Dead movie of all time, and I love this movie because it's just straight out comedy, straight out comedy. And why I say that is because if you have ever watched the Evil Dead franchise and if you ever watched Army of Darkness, it's a lot of comedy. It's a lot of comedy. You would show a kid this. I think so. Yeah, you show a kid this. You could show a kid this because it's so funny that it's literally the best Evil Dead in my opinion. I like how Ash is this badass. I know the cover doesn't show him ripped in the movie, but basically, I love how he builds this fucking car. He teaches these Neanderthals what to do and how to build all this shit, which is funny. You get the undead army, where you get I can't forget about the part where he ends up cloning himself. They end up stabbing him in the butt with a pitchfork, which is very fucking funny. Then after that, you get his mimic, and he ends up turning to the undead. Then there's the whole pterodactyl part. Then you have the whole army of the dead or army of darkness. And he does a whole part where it sounds like Ash is saying the N word, and he's trying to remember the right words to say. Then you get the whole part where Ash is going through books trying to figure out which the right one. That's a whole other good part as well. But at the end, he ends up going back home and does the iconic thing in the store and then shop S smart, um, shop smart, shop S smart. I think that's how it goes. But this is the best Evil Dead movie of all time, in my opinion. Now, Ash versus Evil Dead. I have not watched the TV show franchise, TV show series. I have not. I probably will have to. So for this category, I would say never watched. I spelled it wrong. Never watched. Just because I never watched it before. So I'm gonna put this right here. Um, I don't know what this is. Oh, these are probably the episodes. So I'm put these on. Never watched. Evil Dead Rise. I liked it. I did. I did a review on this. It's a very fucked up movie. It's very weird where the mom becomes possessed. All this shit happens. It's very bloody. I say it's groovy. Because it's always bloody and gory, and the mom turns possessed by the book. Now, I don't know what this one is. I really don't know, so I'm gonna put this as never watched. Anyone can tell me, I don't know. But that was my ranking or tier list for the Evil Dead franchise. Yeah, that is pretty much about it. I know this was like 6 minutes long, but I tried to make it longer. Um, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'll be doing more tier lists like this, like Child's Play, Paranormal Activity, etc., etc., etc. But yep, that's pretty much about it. Yeah.